the idea of the Welcome Island it's really first a public place, so we can actually send people there to have a look around, so it's advertising. But there's also something which our developer called the Path to Enlightenment, and I love the name. It's a bit pretentious as well. It's a sort of orientation and induction area. Okay, so if we follow Maria around to the Path to Enlightenment.
Flying over you.
Can I just ask, while you're walking there,
yeah, sure.
one of the things that I have difficulty with in Second Life is what's the point?
That's the point.
And that's not meant to be sort of totally negative about it, but I mean what you're talking about is having meeting areas. And yes, I know that the Second Life is popular with people, so maybe that's the answer, just people like being in it. But in terms of what we're trying to do here, if you're just providing new meeting areas, I don't understand. I mean, yes, I might want to people at the bar, but I mean, I can know they're there even if I've just got a straightforward chat environment. I don't need.
Well, I mean, there are two things. I mean, in fact, there are a number of things. One, it is marketing. It is popular, and so that's probably what motivated Darwin initially to think, oh, why don't we do that? So that's true. There is an issue of our students being part-timers who never come here, and so don't have a campus. So it's okay. I mean, the experience with Illuminate or Skype and thing is not quite as what you get
is
in here.
that proven through responses from students? That's part of my question. They do actually want to.
They do. I mean, the ones that, I mean,
Yeah.
there are M150, level 1 students using a Second Life campus to meet and have tutorials because they want to have something that represents them in a meeting.
I mean, we have data from the students. The university other islands are so popular that they've started to restrict access to people because it's just people want to use them and use them and use them. So, I mean, there is lots of interest. Okay. And actually, what I was saying earlier on, and there is lots of research going on. I'm not really an expert in sort of research on university technology, but you should really give it a try and see how much more effective it is in terms of the user experience of being there. It's really the sort of feeling of.
This is not a universal feeling, but I'm sure a lot of people will never get there and will never find anything interesting. But there are, if you go on a Friday or night to the campus of that university developed Open Life, it's full. And tutorials, a lot of ALs are taking students there to have tutorials because students have a positive response to that.
The other thing is a lot more participative. So lots of the other two, they limit a lot what you're doing. Okay? So if one person is doing something, the other else can do it. Or here you can actually have group of people doing all sorts of things. It gets quite distracting, quite confusing sometimes. But people can actually participate like you would do in a physical environment. So I mean, there are lots of interesting things to it, and I think Sherry would probably be able to tell you more about it because she actually doing research on it. Anyway, so just to continue on the two, this is an orientation area. So for people who are new to Second Life, we just give some explanation within the thing instead of sending them to other islands where there are other tutorials, but perhaps they're not as quite as friendly or easy to use.
Maybe you want to send people to Little Port?
Yes, let's go. Well, let's go to the lecture theatre first. Then the other things we thought, that our students get. I fly there because I could teleport, or let's fly so you see a bit of the island. One thing that students do here, they have a mini conference.
Where are you going to go
to the main auditorium? Okay, so one of the things that we have here, which we are certainly going to try, is can we have a conference here? And this is a big auditorium. I will fly down in a moment.
Optimistic number of seats.
Sorry?
An optimistic number of seats.
Optimistic number of seats, yes. But this development can actually hold 150 applicants because it's a big. Because it's two sims together. It's two simulators together. In fact, they're patched together in the middle of
Is
this
that
auditorium.
two sims?
Yeah, it's two sims put together. They're actually joined in the middle of this auditorium.
Where you are here, I mean. Yeah.
It's bridging, yeah.
So there are two regions here. Well, there are seating which are quite cute and stuff. There are, obviously there's a lectern. You can actually simulate a presentation quite effectively. So we really try that. That's quite.
Are those video screens?
They are video screens.
Have you
soak
tested them yet?
Soak tested?
Well, I ran videos on Monday for my discussion group, and over 10 people, they can all see it.
We haven't tested it.
I'm going to try and run some soak tests with the students to see
share. See, this is playing at the moment.
It's
Yeah?
okay with 2 or 3 to show the
Why should that be the case?
Yeah,
I don't
Why should
understand why
it
should be the
work?
case because
it does seem weird
Because
it's not streaming
this
through
is
the second
streaming,
line.
absolutely,
quick
streaming for
line.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that depends on the connection of the single
Well,
student.
yeah, obviously my students.
I mean,
will
while
have-
the audio, I would say the audio codec, you're probably right. I find that group of 2-3 people, I never had any problem. When you start growing, having audio
On
jumps
voice.
sometimes is
voice you mean.
voice. Yeah. The streaming is really dependent on the capability of your machine and your internet
It
connection.
should
So
be, shouldn't it?
it shouldn't really matter, but I will look into it. I don't know.
Well, I'll say I'm trying to learn some soap tests.
Right, then there are pods, like let's go to the pods. I think I've lost Maria. Are you following? Are you following us?
Yeah.
The pods. These are individual spaces. So
Which one are you now?
so
Blue, green,
I should have brought a mouse, which is a lot easier to use. Which one you want? Shall we go to the go back. These are the difficulty of using Second Life.
Can you have boats though? As well?
Yes, you have both.
Those ones actually you can have both races.
Sailing boat. There's a we have a hot air balloon and the sailing boat.
And the dance floor.
Which one
Don't
are we to
forget
go?
the dance floor.
Change
We'll
direction
take it.
to-
Let's go to the meeting, which is
Blue?
tutorial blue one.
So some of the physics is quite good.
This is something of society generally at the moment. I just cannot help myself.
I would have never got into it unless I had to do this project. So this is a pod, which is essentially a meeting
Now I
room.
know where the idea for that furniture is.
It comes
It's the other way around.
from
It's the other way around. They came here and they copied the furniture, which we didn't want to, but they
I mean the blue one.
I mean, one of my questions was that it's interesting this keeps going on because you've reinvented an induction area. Coventry University's done exactly the same thing. The induction area doing the same things you are. We're all doing this again and again. And sometimes other sims doing other simulations. I've come across a Turing machine in another university, which is a great resource. And why would we build it again? So I take students around.
Well, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But we also find that people want a space which is
Oh no, I'll be
a new space to be. This is a private space for a start. It's not open.
Space, but you don't start rebuilding everything. Everybody else.
Oh, we don't.
We don't.
I mean, there's a few indicators that it is the new, but other than that, it's not.
It's not. I mean,
But
we've
for me, the
got.
value that my students are getting out of it is that I go to another university, such as Montclair and Derby,
Yeah.
and they see what the other students can do and create it, and what lecturers have put together. Simulations around the floor.
Yeah.
Are you talking about research students or tutorial groups?
Undergraduate.
Undergrad. Yeah, that's fine. For us, it was really we need space for these people to come together.
Can you check if they don't have access to other
Well, most
Most
universities
don't
universities-
have access.
So free.
Alright.
And in fact, the open life used to be entirely free access. It's not anymore. Not anymore.
Open up.
They've got
Oh, they've put
barriers
some-
all over the place.
They
in
put
meeting
barriers
rooms,
up over the teaching area.
meeting rooms, and the reason is exactly because when it is a public space, anybody can come in. Okay.